Morning comes, and with it, yet another knock on the door. Should I? Ellen asks. I shake my head. No. Maybe I should just stay in my room all day. 2 more knocks, then a pause. A moment of your time, please? A male voice asks. A chill goes through me as I recognize that voice. That's Professor Grabiner. I clutch my robes tightly around me as I make my way out of the room, afraid to meet his eyes. Tori, I believe I owe you... He sighs. Miss Cochrane has taken responsibility for carelessly allowing certain information to become available. It was Minnie who leaked the secret? It was inappropriate for me to jump to conclusions, and I did not treat you as a gentleman should. I am sorry. Now he's apologizing? Okay. Honestly, I'm too off balance to say anything more intelligent at the moment. He sighs, and it seems he's afraid to meet my eyes as well. It seems that I spend a great deal of time apologizing to you. I shrug and try to offer a joke to ease at least some of the tension between us. Well, I guess marriage is like that. He sniffs. Perhaps so. As the lid is off the box, I will make the appropriate announcements. Fear of reprisals should discourage at least some of the attention. Thanks. These are my responsibilities. He turns to go, and I lean against the doorway as I watch him head down the hallway and out of sight. Of course, it's his job to protect me. Nothing more. Professor Grabiner strides down the hallway. She wasn't cowering in fear of him, so he supposed he should be grateful for at least that much. He wanted to say more to her. He wanted to apologize, to give her a true apology. But he couldn't. Not there. It was the early hours of the morning, and most students were asleep, but not all of them were. He also couldn't give her a true apology now. He couldn't look at her too closely. He remembered the last time she had beamed at him, how bright and happy she looked. If he looked at her now, what would he see? Fear? Sadness? And it was all his fault. The guilt was already eating him from the inside out. He didn't want to make it worse. He had told Tori once before that he would prefer not to address her at all so he wouldn't have to be confronted with the terrible choices he had made, but it seemed that that was his lot once again. The only thing he could do now was to try to make sure he didn't take Tori down with him. Before class begins, Professor Potsdam stands up to make an announcement. Some of you may have heard the rumors regarding our Tori and Professor Grabiner. She smiles widely. Well, it's absolutely true. They are husband and wife, and Professor Grabiner requests that anyone with questions approach him directly and not bother Mrs. Grabiner on the subject. The consequences of that aren't lost on anyone from the sudden outbreak of wincing. After class, I'm feeling a bit restless, so I go out to stretch my legs. I spot Manuel in the hallways. Hi, Manuel. Hi. I've gotta go. Huh. I guess he's busy. Oh, there's a familiar face. Tori! Pastel exclaims. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. She turns and runs the other way. What was that all about? I sigh as I finally spot Ellen. Ellen, hi. Hi. What you doing? Need any help? I'm sort of at loose ends. No, I'm fine, Ellen says as she fiddles with her hands. I'm sure you have more important things to do. I shake my head. No, I don't. Why would I? Well, you're an adult now. No, I'm not. Why is she being like this? Just yesterday she was helping me. So, are you going to move out? I blink at her. Why would I do that? Now that it's not a secret anymore. No! Sorry, she stammers. I'll just go, okay? Great. Even my own roommates don't want to talk to me now. I wander the halls, but wherever I walk, other students look up, flinch, and then look away. They're afraid of me. I suppose being treated like a contagious disease is slightly better than being mobbed with embarrassing questions, but I want to talk to someone. Everything that's happening is confusing and upsetting. I guess there's only one person who might understand how I feel. I know the way into his room, but I know exactly how well he'd appreciate my barging in unannounced. I make my way to the door and knock. What is it? A male voice calls out. It's Tori. Can I talk to you? I hear a distant sigh. Very well. Come in. I enter the room slowly, shutting the door quietly behind me. Hi. Tori. He looks down and away. Great. He doesn't want to look at me either. Once again, I must apologize for my rough treatment of you yesterday. You deserved more respect, not only as my wife, but as a person who has so far demonstrated integrity. You should know that it was a hollow threat. I would never banish a student to such a fate merely for causing me embarrassment. Oh, well, that's good, I guess. Is there something else you need? And suddenly it's all too much to bear. Have you seen how they're looking at me? He blinks, clearly not expecting my outburst. Pardon? It's been bad enough these past few months keeping secrets from everyone. My friends, my roommates, my family, lying to everyone and feeling more and more alone. But I thought if I could just pretend this wasn't happening for long enough until the end of the year, then it would all go away. We could pretend that it never happened. I could go on with my life. But now it's real. Now everyone knows. And I can never be normal again. Who's going to like me now? I'm not a schoolgirl. I'm somebody's wife. I've never been kissed. I've never been on a date, and I'm already used goods. You may find that members of the magical community are more understanding of unusual lifestyles than you can imagine. I shake my head. No one wants to talk to me now. They act like they're scared of me. He stares me down. I can't imagine. I don't know what to say. I guess he's used to people being afraid of him. I'm sorry. I must sound really whiny to you, huh? I shake my head. It's just, of all the things I dreamed might someday happen when I got married, I never imagined. I expected that at least my husband would like me. He draws back. I'm sorry, I say quickly. I'm sorry, I'll get out of your hair. I turn to go, but his next words draw me back. I don't dislike you. What? I said I don't dislike you. He swallows hard. You have many admirable qualities. You are a spirited young woman with a healthy curiosity that you are learning to temper with wisdom. You are generous and brave, if sometimes impetuous. You are a diligent student. I flush. I never would have imagined him referring to me in this way. Oh. Of course, you are also a young woman, and you prefer the company of your own kind. I shake my head. It was your company that I came here for. Oh. We stare at each other for a few moments, neither of us quite sure what to say next. Would it be all right if I visited you again sometime? To talk? I'd like to get to know you better. I am very busy with preparations for the final exams. I look down and away. Oh. Perhaps sometime over the weekend would be acceptable. Oh. My face immediately brightens as I smile up at him. Have a good day, Tori. You too. I wait until I am just about out the door before I whisper his name. Hieronymous. Professor Grabiner sighed as Tori left the room. True, he was busy with final exams, and that would have been the perfect excuse to brush her off once and for all, but he couldn't do that. Tori had come here because she was alone, because she had no one else to talk to now that everyone knew of their relationship, and he couldn't turn her away now. Still, that wasn't the thing that bothered him the most. Tori wasn't afraid of him. Tori knew how he had threatened to lock her away, and yet, when she sought solace and comfort, she had come to seek him out. She could have gone to Potsdam. She could have gone to anyone else. No, when she wanted to feel better, she came to him. And the way she smiled at him before she left. Were her feelings for him that strong? Or was she truly that foolish? Or maybe he was the foolish one. Tori still wanted to spend time with him. Tori still wanted to get to know him. He should push her away for her own good, and yet some selfish part of him considered that maybe, just maybe, his actions weren't as unforgivable as he had imagined them to be. Maybe, just maybe, there was still a way to make this work. He sighed as he sat down at his desk. She hadn't noticed what he had been working on, but that was for the best. He was not a humble man. He did not like to admit when he was wrong. He did not like to draft apologies. But, in this case, it was necessary, and he would spend the rest of the night drafting the best damn apology she had ever heard. In order to do that, though, he was going to have to get vulnerable, more vulnerable than he felt comfortable being. He wasn't looking forward to it, but maybe, if he could explain to Tori why he acted the way he did, they could reach some sort of understanding. He had no idea how to apologize and carry on a conversation like a normal human being, but he was going to do his best. Tori didn't deserve anything less.